morning. I'm down at the beach in Naramata, and I've been practicing here all week. And so I wanted to do this month's sample bit from down here because it's been lovely. There are these huge old growth trees, and the birds are loving a magnificent willow out on the beach by me. They're really quiet today actually, so which is good because I forgot my mic. I've also been doing lots of paddling this week, and during the day it's been really windy. At night the lake's been like glass, and with this week's moon it's been great to get out there and paddle. With paddling, it's gotten me kind of thinking about what's happening in the shoulder girdle a little bit more and playing with some things, which is what I'm going to share with you today. So on your hands and knees, but I've also played with this against a tree, and there's kind of elements and benefits to both. So I definitely encourage sort of taking the components of what you learn here and applying them in different contexts, because of course I'm using some of the context that we're going to play with here when I'm out on my paddleboard. So coming on to the hands and knees, and we want the knees underneath the hips and the shoulder over top of the hand. And then you can shift your weight back a little bit, so if you've got wrist sensitivities or anything, or you notice that when you come fully weight bearing on the wrist and hand, that you have a tendency to lock out the elbow, I want you to go back and only shift forward to the degree that you can keep a soft bend in that elbow. Then from here, what we're going to play with is starting to rotate the humerus bone. And I want you to use your other hand on that humerus, and you'll see the elbow moving. Now, it's really easy to create this movement by driving it from the forearm. And I want you to let the forearm follow and start to see if you can feel this internal and external rotation of the humerus. And likely as you internally and externally rotate the humerus, you're going to feel some things happen around the shoulder blade. You're going to feel the sensation perhaps of a stretch, perhaps of some other muscles engaging, but you want to watch that as the humerus rotates and the scapula, the shoulder blade, starts moving, that you're not bending at the rib cage, between the rib cage and the pelvis, that you're not side bending, that you're just moving on the rib cage with the shoulder blade. And then what you could play with is, as this humerus externally rotates, you can use the ground and start to play with internally rotating the forearm. And again, there might be the sensation of some stretch that happens through the arm. And then playing with internally rotating the humerus and starting to externally rotate the forearm a little bit. And again, you're going to feel different sensations through the arm and through the shoulder girdle. Then what you're going to play with is starting to use the arm and push yourself back. And as you push yourself back, I want you to allow there to be a sense of some internal rotation of the humerus. And then pull yourself forward and allow some external rotation of the humerus. Feel what happens with that shoulder blade. Again, only go to the point that you don't lock out the elbow and that you don't start to move between the rib cage and the pelvis, that it's all shoulder girdle driven. So push and internally rotate, and you'll feel the shoulder blade do some upward rotation. And then pull, start to externally rotate that humerus. And just stay in a range where the spine doesn't change its shape, and that you can feel these movements of the humerus of the upper arm bone. And there's nothing happening up into my neck. There is stuff happening, however, around my shoulder blade and below my shoulder blade. Okay, and then you're going to do that on the other side. Okay, and notice what you notice. Play with that. Have fun. See what you discover. And then what I've translated that to is when I'm on my board and I'm pushing with my top hand and pulling with my bottom hand, I'm thinking about those movements of the humerus. And I've noticed a lot more ease in my neck and a lot more feeling of strength through my back body and around the bottom of the scapula, feeling that musculature a lot more than the delts and up into the upper trapezius and into the neck. So have fun with that, play, discover, explore, and notice what you notice. I'd love to hear how you do with that. Have a great, great day. Namaste.